Good morning, everyone. First of all, let me use this opportunity to welcome the deal for a humanitarian pause in hostilities in Gaza and the release of a number of hostages brutally taken by Hamas on October 7th. It gives some hope to devastated families in Israel and some respite to Palestinians in Gaza. This is a moment we can build upon, and now we must redouble efforts to bring all remaining hostages back home, to step up humanitarian aid, and to use this long-awaited glimmer of hope to find a lasting, sustainable solution and a real vision for peace that rebuilds the political horizon. Now it is my pleasure to welcome the Prime Minister of Bulgaria, Nikolay, to Strasbourg and the European Parliament. Dear Prime Minister, let me start by reiterating the European Parliament's disappointment with the decision to delay Bulgaria's and Romania's accession to the Schengen area last year. We stand fully on your side on this. There is no justifiable reason not to admit Bulgaria, as you have now fulfilled all the conditions since already, it bears repeating, 11 years. As I also conveyed in our meeting, I sincerely hope that the Spanish presidency will make every possible effort to reach agreement between all member states this winter. Another pressing issue for Bulgarians is your entry into the Eurozone and the adoption of the euro as your currency. We see and encourage the efforts that your government is making in meeting all of your conditions for this. For me, it is clear that joining the Eurozone is the best possible decision for your country, your businesses, your industries and all Bulgarians in terms of financial stability and in terms of opportunities. And that is why it was so important for the agreement on a government rotation to have been reached in Bulgaria. That is what allows for a long-term stability and outlook. We also talked about Ukraine, and I would like to thank Bulgaria for its support to Ukraine. And finally, we also discussed the situation in the Middle East. Prime Minister Denkov and I, together with the rest of the European Union leaders, shared the same views. The two-state solution is not an easy target today, but that is what the international community should and must aim at. Prime Minister Denkov, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear President, dear Roberta. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the invitation to be here to present the positions of Bulgaria on the hot topics, to contribute to the debate, This is Europe, and to express again our full commitment of the Cabinet, of the people in our teams, to be fully integrated in the European structures. And from this viewpoint, I also want to thank you very much for your continuous, very strong support for Schengen, for the Eurozone, and for the participation in the other structures of Europe. We need this support, and we'll continue to work hard because it is important both for Bulgaria as a country, because this is part of our full development as a modern country with a high technology economy, with well-developed institutions, rule of law, and all the other fine adjustments of the structure of a country that makes it successful. But also we want to be useful to the development of Europe. So our full integration doesn't mean that we only want to take from Europe. On the opposite, we want to be as useful as possible to support the development of Europe as a union and family of countries that work together for their own success. So that's why I'm here, and I hope this will be a useful visit.
Thank you.
I have questions to both. Madam President, you mentioned Schengen. Bulgaria is expecting the new decision at the beginning of December. If this decision is negative, the anti-European sentiments amongst the Bulgarians will be big, and this half a year before the European election. How the European institution can break this Schengen deadlock?
Well, thank you for this question, and I will build on what I said in my opening remarks. You will see now in the plenary when different members from different political groups will take the floor to have the most unifying message that we've had in this Parliament for those 11 years, as I mentioned before, that Bulgaria's rightful place is in the Schengen area. I remember being in Bucharest last December, a few days after the non-decision by the European Council, and the disappointment coupled with frustration was felt, was tangible, and you could already see that the response was, so where does Europe leave us? How can the European Union have citizens that are treated one way and citizens that are treated another way? So we very much look forward to progress on this issue. We look forward to the next few weeks, crucial weeks for the European Union, whether we are going to discuss enlargement, the European path for countries that have a perspective to join the European Union, but also for those decisions, highly political, highly sensitive, but very much having a direct impact of what Bulgarian citizens, what young people in Bulgaria will look to as they start to be more interested in the European election campaign in June next year. A decision is necessary, it is long overdue, and this institution stands extremely firmly behind that.
Thank you. And to our Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, do you have plan B if Bulgaria again receives negative decision on Schengen, and what will be the political consequences on your for your government?
For me, today there is no plan B. Today we work very hard to get this accession decided in December. And there have been many efforts by all of the members of the cabinet. You have seen the efforts of myself, of the Deputy Prime Minister Maria Gabriel, of the different ministers of economy, internal affairs, and so on and so forth. There are many other efforts that you don't see because these are diplomatic efforts where we show very clearly what are the arguments not only for the benefit of Bulgaria but also for the benefit of the entire European Union, for the benefit of Austria, if Bulgaria and Romania are in Schengen area. So that's why the entire focus is on this. Believe me, on the European Council, I'll be very hard on this. I can explain very clearly what will be the negative impact if it doesn't happen, but before that we work hard to happen. So that's why I don't want to deviate our focus today on the preparation for the European Council and positive solution of this Council.
Morning, Elena Viskova, Bulgarian National Radio. I also have questions to both. Madam President, do you expect some changes in the treaty which will give some more power to the European Parliament and thus remove the power of the veto that member states have, as Bulgaria is very concerned in the case of Schengen? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a report, a very long-awaited one, that will be voted on later on today. It is, first of all, to be clear, from an institutional perspective, our position, very long stated. I cannot predict the outcome of the vote. It is not our negotiating mandate, but it will be our contribution to a debate that is long overdue. What we have said as a parliament is that we are committed to enlargement. We have seen in the past 4 years where the gaps were, in what the European Union could take on, and the European Parliament, as competencies, whether in terms of health, whether in terms of defence, security, and also energy. And finally, also an understanding that as we go towards the end of the year and discuss potential next steps towards enlargement, we are realistic in saying that what works for 27 will not work for 32, 33 or 35. So without preempting the outcome of the vote, I look forward to a very good debate between the institutions, with all the national leaders of governments and states, to where the European Union we want to see in the next years. And it's one that has to be able to carry out and continue to face the challenges and the crises, if you wish, of what we have come out of and are still going through as we speak.
Also for Prime Minister, it's an internal matter. The vote of no confidence didn't pass, the government survived, but how it will go on, provided that the disagreements within will continue? Thank you.
So the most important target of this cabinet is to fulfill the government program. Also, we have a list of acts that should be adopted by the parliament. So here the focus should be anything that is outside of the government program, outside of this list that was agreed between the coalitions before making this government, is actually deviating us from our main goals. So all the time I'll try to focus on the programs.